Are you struggling with balance of payments calculations? Let's make them easy. Grab a calculator and let's go. From the following information, calculate South Africa's current account balance in 2015. They give us this wonderful table showing us all the information we're going to need. Exports of goods minus imports of goods gives us the balance of trade. If we take 1,041,438 minus 1,075,850, that's going to give us 34,412 deficit. The minus means deficit. Exports of services minus imports of services. That will give us the balance on services. If we take 191,656 minus 197,643, that gives us minus 5,987 deficit again. We'll take the 34,412 deficit on the trade in goods balance plus the deficit on the trade on services balance, which is minus 5,987 deficit, plus net primary income, which is minus 100,366 deficit, plus the net secondary income, which is also a deficit of minus 33,533. Now, if we put it all together, our answer will be minus 174,298 deficit. Now, calculate the missing figures in Pakistan's current account for July to December 2023. Here's the information they give us. Let's break it down. Firstly, let's take exports minus the imports of goods, and that will give us the trade balance. They didn't give us the import value, so we'll need to work backwards. We'll take exports plus the trade in goods balance, and that will give us the imports of goods. So the 14,223 plus the 15,366. That gives us 29,589 as our import value. Exports on services minus the imports on services, that will give us the trade in services balance. Minus 270, that's the 3,870 minus the 4,140. If we take the trade in goods balance plus the trade in service balance, that will give us trade in goods and service balance. And this value is minus 15,636 deficit. If we take primary income credit, that's a positive value. Credits indicate inflows of money, minus the primary income debit, which is an outflow of money, that will give us the net primary income, and that value is 2,631 deficit. Now, if I take the trade in goods balance that we calculated as 15,636 deficit plus the 2,631 deficit plus the net secondary income, 14,638, that gives us a current account balance of minus 3,629 deficit. You could have also done it differently. Instead of taking the total of the trade in goods and services balance of 15,636, you could have just taken trade in goods balance as minus 15,366 plus the trade in services balance of minus 270 deficit plus the net primary income of 2,631 deficit and the net secondary income of 14,638 surplus. And that would have given you the current account balance. Let's look at a multiple choice question. What would increase the deficit on a country's balance of trade? Let's look at each option. So option A, a domestic firm invests in a foreign country. This will not be recorded on the country's balance of trade. This will be recorded in the financial account. B. Foreign tourists visiting the country spend less money. This will not be recorded in the balance of trade. This will be recorded in the trade in services account on the current account. C is the correct answer. People buy imported cars instead of home-produced cars. This will go into the balance of trade. D. Teams of doctors are sent to a country that has experienced an earthquake. This will also not go into the balance of trade. This will go into the balance of services. Let's look at another multiple choice question. The table shows the trade in goods balance and the current account balance of the balance of payments for 4 countries during a year. Which country had the largest surplus on its trade and services, assuming net flows of primary income and current transfers with 0 in all countries? Let's look at option A. We'll take the balance on the current account, 12.2 billion, minus the balance of trade in goods is 12.4 billion. This will give us a deficit of 0.2 billion. So not a surplus, so incorrect. Option B, 8.6 billion minus 8.8 billion gives us minus 0.2 billion. Again, a deficit, not a surplus. C, 15.2 minus 15.6. That gives us 0.4 deficit. Again, not a surplus. Option D, 10.8 minus 10.3. That gives us positive 0.5. That's a surplus. So in other words, D is the correct answer. They wanted the biggest surplus. If you are interested in these PowerPoint presentations that I used, they are available on my community for download if you sign up. YouTube believes you'd like this other video, so be sure to check it out as well. See you in the next one. Bye bye.